They take the land, claim that it's theirs, and then they make concessions on land that doesn't actually belong to them. The Zionist movement and Zionism on the ground is the idea of creating not only a Jewish state, but at the expense of the indigenous Palestinian population. What Zionism is the idea of privileging and giving exclusive rights to one group of people at the expense of another group of people. This isn't liberal. This isn't relating to equality. There isn't a single Zionist who's able to say that they actually believe that Palestinians have the exact same rights as Israelis who are living in that country. And this is the fundamental problem with Zionism. The fact that we're trying to make a distinction between what happened in 48 and what happened in 67 is a false distinction to be making. Zionism, as its fundamental core, is the idea of privileging one group of people over another. And the way that they created a Zionist state in the first place was to expel millions, hundreds of thousands, now millions of Palestinian refugees, including my family. And the way that you create a bigger Zionist state is to do the exact same process. I think that it's important to keep in mind that between the period of 1948 and 1967, which people are sort of trying to idealize as being the great years of Israel, there were Palestinians who were citizens of that state, were living under military rule. First of all, immigration issues. My family hails from a town that is in the Galilee, and they were ethnically cleansed from their homes in 1948, have never been allowed to return back, even though they themselves are citizens of the state of Israel. Were considered present absentees. My family, some of whom actually fled to other Arab countries, including Jordan, have never been allowed to return to their home inside what is present-day Israel, but for one reason and only one reason: because they're not Jewish. Another law that the Knesset has recently passed is a law that allows communities to be able to discriminate against people who decide to move into those areas. So, for example, if you are Arab, there are communities that are specifically designed to weed you out because they don't want any Palestinians living amongst them.
It's true, that's a reality, and it is not a reality that should be condoned. They come from something which is inherent in a movement that wants demographic majority, the same drive that will eventually bring about the creation of a Palestinian state, simply because this drive to be a Jewish majority is what will prevent the annexation of the West Bank.
This is what compromise is in the Israeli mindset. They take the land, claim that it's theirs, and then they make concessions on land that doesn't actually belong to them. And this is the way that the Zionist movement is about. So at Taba didn't really differ very much from Camp David. The Israelis were still willing to take, you still wanted the Ariel block, you still wanted Ma'ale Adumim, you still wanted to take large swaths of Palestinian land. There was still no recognition that Palestinians have a right to return to their homeland. There was still no compensation that was going to be paid. It was still this idea of continual control over Palestinian lives. This is precisely the face of Zionism, the fact that Israel comes to me and now I'm considered to be an immigrant to that country. This is precisely the ideology. The problem with Israel is that it views me either as a demographic threat or as a security threat. And if you look at Israel today, it already is one state. It's no longer a question of whether it's going to be one state. It is one state. The problem today is it's apartheid. That's what we're living under.